By far, one of the most elusive skills in history, in musical history, is playing by ear. It's by far the most requested skill that my students ask for in my music school. And today I wanted to show you exactly how I do that through the one scale technique. So we're going to start here with a little random groove from YouTube. I'll share this groove in the description so you guys can practice on it as well. So the first thing I do is just listen. I'm just going to listen. And then by the process of elimination, I'm going to figure out what scale this song is in. Okay? The most obvious place to start would be C major. So let's try that. Okay, that sounds terrible. Let's try G. Nope. It's not D major either. It's not A. Let's go backwards through the circle of fifths. Go to F. Sounds a little better. Let's try a little bit more. Nice. Nice. Now the process of coming up with the bass line is just the same, but the key of understanding this, right? I'm not trying to be ironic or punny or whatever, but just take a look at the scale that you're playing here. You're playing F major. So the bass line's not going to be in C major. It's not going to be in A major. It's not going to be in G minor. It's going to be in F major, you know? So you just got to pick the notes out that belong to the key of F. Let's try this. Okay, we know that's wrong. It sounds wrong. Okay, we know it's not G. Sounds okay, but it's not perfect. E doesn't sound right. So it's just a process of elimination. But one of the tricks I like to use is to use the relative major or minor key. I've noticed that a lot of songs tend to do that. Like the melody will be in, but then the bass line will start in like D minor, because that would be F major's relative minor scale. So that sounds good. There we go. B flat is next. There we go. There's a G. Okay, so it's not an E, but we know at least it starts on D. So we just keep going. We know we had D, B flat. Notice I haven't changed anything about my right hand. We're still playing. Okay, it sounds like an A. Still playing F major up here. Maybe we're not playing every single note, but we're expressing ourselves in F major. So the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that you really only need one scale. Once you figure out what that scale is, then you can derive all your other conjectures about what comes next, you know? Like that example I provided before, we have the F major scale here, and then you're playing a D down here, which effectively makes this a D minor 7 chord, okay? This is one of the very key understandings I reached about this, okay? And I didn't know this at first. I thought I was only just playing a major scale in my right hand and then a minor scale in my left hand, or a minor whatever. I didn't connect that this was a D minor 7 for a long time. But that's what you're doing. And when you see stuff like this, let me show you. Let me show you what this thing looks like. So this groove here, D minor 7, B flat, what is that, augmented? I think that means that triangle. G minor 7, and then A7 suspended fourth. All of this would look like Greek to me if I was first starting off on piano. But if you consider this, right, check this out. F major right here, its relative minor scale is D minor. Okay, so that means that there will be a B flat in the key of F. In the key of F, there'll be a B. When you see that B, you're going to play the B flat. Same goes for D minor. B flat. Interesting, right? So theoretically, you could play both scales in your right hand, but what I prefer to do is just play the major. Whenever I see that this first thing is D minor, my mind automatically goes towards this F major idea, because I know that in the key of F, there's a D, there's a B flat, there's a G, and there's an A. Now, the really powerful thing, right, in my opinion, humbly, is that you only need to continue to play F major over all these chords, and then you would just change your left hand to these root notes in order to acquire these chord progressions. It's pretty incredible, honestly. And it's one of the most profound things that I've ever discovered. Let's listen to that groove one more time. Listen to the little groove. All I have to do is change this root note every time that progression changes, and I just leave my fingers in F major. This will work for a lot of songs. All I'm doing is changing octaves in my bass. I don't need to know if that's A augmented 7th. It doesn't matter. Just following scales. Beautiful. So the idea here is to use one scale. Here, let's do one more example so I can really show you guys what's going on. If you guys want this stuff, I'll put it in the description. So just listen. That's wrong. So just keep trying, right? There we go. These two sound good. So what do we know about C and B flat? What scales have C and B flat in them? Well, G minor does, right? That D is making it a little weird, though, to be in that position. So what other thing also has these? Let's try C. That's the most obvious thing, right? There we go. It sounds like it could be C minor because there's an E flat in it and a B flat. And because we can hear it's the blues, we know it's going to be the 1, 4, 5 progression. Hear that? 4, and then 1. And then it starts over at the 1. And we know what the bass line's going to be because we know that the blues is 1, 4, 5. Here comes the 4. Notice that, guys? I didn't change the the scale here. It's still C minor. I may have moved to F. I may have moved to G here. I found that so cool, man, when I first learned that. I will show you guys maybe one more groove to show you that it also works when it comes to jazz, right? Not just blues, not just whatever, you know, it also works in jazz too. So, the first thing to do is what? We got to figure out what scale this is in. What scale is it in? Let's take a listen. Can you guys find it? Okay, so these two notes work. What keys have a D and an E in it, right? So it doesn't have an F sharp, we know that, or a G flat. That's cool. Okay, it has a G in it. That's cool. So D, that sounds pretty good. Okay, there's an A. Here's a B. Wow, that's a whole lot of stuff in C major. Here we go. You guys see what I'm doing here? It's not that much. I think this sounds like a 2-5-1. So the 2 in this scale, right, is the D, and then the G is 5, and then 1, 2, 5, 1, and then C major on top of that. Hopefully that makes sense, right? You just find the key signature, play over it until you find, you know, or listen to the song first. Sorry about that. You listen to the song, find the key, and then you start messing with the bass line until you find it. And that bass line has got to be in the key signature that you're playing. It's not going to be outside the key signature you're playing. So once you figure out that first scale, that's really super important, because everything else you play down here, eventually you will, if you practice enough, you will arrive at one of these notes on the right beat. You know what I mean? Like, here, let me give you guys just one more example, because this is really, really fun. All right, this one's a really good one because this one actually doesn't have the bass line progression in it already. This one I had to figure out on my own, which means I'm going to have to figure it out right now. All right, so we got to figure out what key signature this is in. E sounds pretty good. The D sounds good. Okay, so the B, that sounds all nice. Oh, that F sharp, or F sounds bad. There we go. So it has F sharp and G, so it's probably, unless it has any of these in here, it doesn't. So it's probably just G major. Check this out. 2, 3, 4. All those notes sounded really good. This one sounds a little bit like bluesy, jazzy, funky, sort of. So I'm just going to use the blues scale like I described before, guys. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the E, D, B. I'm going to basically skip this C, unless I really want to use it for something. But mostly it's going to be these. Check it out. 4. C's wrong. And D's wrong too. The E's right though. I don't know if that G's right. There we go. That B there. There's the C, an A, and then a B. So the bass line's going to be E, C, A. Isn't that interesting though? It is E minor. See why that ghost note worked right there? Because B is in the key signature of G and E minor. Again, if you guys want this playlist so you can practice piano, I'm happy to provide that for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you guys want more information about how to play by ear, just leave me a comment and I'll try to either make a video or send you a private message about lessons. Until next time, see you later, guys.